Okay, I'm gonna make a video today. Make sure my camera's turned on. It is. I mean it like that. I don't care if this video costs me every subscriber I have. I really don't. I'm gonna talk about why I stand with Israel. Now, when I was 9, I think, around 3rd grade, something 2nd or 3rd, about that, 9th grade, and I'm 9 years old, my grandfather showed me 2 pictures. These pictures are today in the custody of my uncle. They are not to be seen by anyone outside the family, and the family is never to profit from them. One was a mass grave. Now, this was not a poster in a museum. This was an authentic, there's a fruit flying here. This was an authentic picture from 1945. The other was a picture of my grandfather and another man carrying away a dead body. Many years later, on the HBO show Band of Brothers, before I went to whatever the hell other channel, HBO, there was an episode where the main characters liberated a concentration camp. Next day, I went to my grandparents' house, was telling my grandfather about it. My grandfather did not see the episode, but he told me everything they did in order. How? Because that's exactly what it was like when he liberated a camp. And I forget the camp's name, we don't know, I gotta check records. But anyway, yeah. They liberated the camp first, evacuated the survivors, and God knows how many lives that unit saved that day. Guys starving to death, women and children starving to death, people with disease. And then they excavated the ground and they tried to give the bodies some proper, dignified burial if they could. And when I was in 3rd grade, I remember Saddam Hussein firing missiles into Israel like it was nobody else's business. And I remember kids my age, 2nd, 3rd graders, or the Israeli equivalent of it, with gas masks in boxes, and they had to decorate little drawings on the box so they wouldn't look scary to them. They had to not think about the box being gassed, being bombed. Hamas is a terrorist group. And yes, Israel has had some terrorist groups in the past. They have. America has terrorist groups. You don't hate America because of the Ku Klux Klan. Seriously. You don't hate a country because of a terrorist group. Now, Hamas is a terrorist group that represents Palestine. And Hamas does to the Palestinians what the Nazis did to the Jews and did to all of Germany. Hamas hides weapons and equipment in mosques and hospitals and civilian homes and schools, hoping that Israel will bomb. Brigitte Gabriel, who was an Arab Christian who you see on Fox News all the time, when she was a child living in the Middle East, Hamas would have a rocket launcher in front of her house, fire at Israel, move to the next house, fire at Israel, move to the next house, fire at Israel, and then Israel will return a rocket and hit our neighbor's house. Hamas has been known to literally, and there's video footage online, I've seen it, where Hamas operators are firing rockets at Israel with children behind them, literally, hoping the rockets will come in and hit the children. And there was a Palestinian children's show many years ago, sponsored by Hamas. I saw video clips on the internet recently. We have a 9-year-old girl who was talking to giant cartoon characters, kind of like Disney World ripoffs, where you got a guy in a costume. We want to kill the Jews. We want to be martyrs. We want to die for Allah. You got a 9-year-old girl here who wants to be a martyr so she can die for Allah. Okay? Hamas kills their own children. Hamas will shoot an Arab child in the head at point blank range and say, look what the Jews did. They'll shoot a child and say, look, oh, the Jew did this. Israel drops leaflets saying, you know, if you live in this area, you better get out because we're going to bomb you. Hamas, if you're an Arab reading an Israeli flyer saying the bomb is gonna come this way, get out of fucking town, Hamas will kill you. If Israel calls your neighborhood on the phone and says, get out, we're gonna bomb, Hamas will kill you for talking to them. Hamas has killed its own people, or Hamas has hidden behind its own people, hoping Israel will kill them. And you see Israel fire a rocket at Hamas, and that rocket will hit a school, because that's where the Hamas rocket originated from. Oh, the Jews want to kill the Palestinians. That's the mentality they want you to hear. And Hamas kills Israeli children. Hamas kills their own children. Hamas is not a legitimate organization. Okay, just like Hitler killed Germans. Hitler was more than willing to kill white Christian Germans that disagree with him. Hitler was more than willing to kill any white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed person who helped a Jew. Arabs that help Jews are killed. Arabs that befriend Jews are killed. An Arab doctor who treats an Israeli child will be killed. The number one racist against Muslims is Muslims. Okay? 99% of Muslims are not terrorists. That being said, the 1% of Muslims that are terrorists are more than willing to kill other Muslims. They kill Muslims that side with Israel. I mean, they've had King Hussein, not Saddam Hussein, King Hussein, who's long since died. He was targeted by bin Laden because he signed a peace treaty with Israel. Any Muslim who signs a peace treaty with Israel is risking death. Any Muslim who befriends a Christian is risking death. Muslim children are oppressed by Sharia law. Muslim girls are raped by their own fathers under Sharia law. If you look at their radical beliefs, they victimize themselves more than they victimize anyone else. Now, the IDF has been known to help Palestinian children. An IDF soldier will risk his life to save a Palestinian child. An Israeli Jewish doctor will help Palestinian children from a bombing. Muslims live in Israel. Muslims serve in the IDF. A Muslim woman works for the Israeli government. How many Muslim women do you see working in the Iranian government? Or some other fucking government out there? And I had a guy in high school, he said the Palestinian this, but what the fuck is wrong with you? I said, I don't hate Palestine. I hate Hamas, because Hamas is oppressing its own people, using its own people as a weapon to kill the Jews. And I said, their charter says every Jew must die. They literally think that if a Jew is hiding behind a tree, the tree will come alive and tell them, there is a Jew behind me, come kill him. How do you negotiate with that? How do you negotiate with someone who says, I want to kill the Jews? Someone comes to the table and sits down and says, I want to kill the Jews. I want to kill all the Jews. I will strap a bomb to my own child and have my child kill the Jews. Once I have killed all of the Jews, I will come and kill you next. How the fuck do you negotiate with that? What the fuck is wrong with you? You're negotiating with that. Okay? Remember the Ku Klux Klan? The Ku Klux Klan said, we want to kill all the blacks until they're either all gone or until the Democratic Party runs out of money to pay us. You cannot negotiate with anyone that says, I want to kill everyone. Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler said, I want to kill the Jews. I want to kill the blacks. I want to kill the gypsies. I want to kill the mentally disabled. I want to kill the physically disabled. I want to kill I want to kill every fucking buddy. How do you rationalize, say, okay, let's sit down and talk? Okay? You cannot sit down and talk when some guy says, I want to kill all of you. I want to kill your children. I want to rape your wife. I mean, how the fuck do you negotiate with that shit? You cannot negotiate with that fucking shit. You have two armies that go to war and they fucking kill each other. And at the end of the fucking war, the generals sit down and the generals say, okay, you go home, we'll go home, we'll shake hands. Because we won this battle, we take this land. Because you won that battle, you take that land. Because you gave this, you give it to that, blah, blah, blah. And we all shake hands and we all go home. And 50 years later, the guys from opposing sides get together and they shake hands and they take pictures together. Okay, that's negotiation. But when someone comes with fucking dynamite strapped to their own fucking child and says, I want to kill all of you. I will kill your children. I will drink your blood. How the fuck do you negotiate with that? Tell me how you negotiate with that, please. And a lot of people say, you got an Israeli rocket, hits a building, a couple of kids die. The Jews want to kill everybody. Okay, fine. A Hamas operator goes to a school, fires a rocket, deliberately makes sure there are kids behind him. That way he can just step away and let the kids get killed. Then he photographs, oh look at the dead children. Thank you.